everyone! Thank you for my first attempt at this video blog sort of thing. Stick with me, things are gonna get interesting. So this is for October 14th and the movie is Psycho by the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock. Oh my goodness, I can't even begin telling you how great he is. But first, just real quick, historical, I can talk, I promise, historical context to what's happening in the 1960s. First of all, we had our very first presidential debate that was aired on TV. Maybe some of us wish that it wasn't aired on TV anymore. That's a whole nother discussion though. And that would lead to John F. Kennedy actually winning the presidency. So yay! We kind of like him, right? We do. So with that, and then the other thing that we're gonna start seeing in horror movies that I feel like I have to talk about is the sexual revolution starts in 1960 as the use of birth control pills becomes more mainstream, and Hugh Hefner opens his first Playboy club in Chicago. Now that doesn't say sexual revolution. I don't know what does. But also, on a sad note, this is actually the year that we first sent troops to Vietnam. Who knew the Vietnam War would start so early? I did. It is in 1960 when we first send 3,500 soldiers over to Vietnam to fight against the communist North Vietnam. So that's great. So we should talk about Psycho now, shouldn't we? Alright. This movie's great. So first of all, Marion Crane, who is played by Janet Leigh, basically wants to get married to Sam Loomis, her boyfriend, which we see in the very beginning, then in bed. What? Crazy. They're not married and sharing the same bed? Hold the phone. Are you kidding me right now? That was new, by the way. That was completely new, never seen in movies before. Crazy. But, so, she wants to get married to Sam, but Sam is in a lot of debt. Way to go, bro. So, she works for a real estate company, and, a customer actually drops off a $40,000 cash payment on a property. Instead of depositing it in the bank like her boss told her to do, she decides to take it and run. She basically leaves Arizona and comes to Fairvale, California, because she wants to get married and doesn't want to be in debt. Who doesn't want to be in debt? I know I don't. Thanks, college. So she basically she ends up at this remote hotel, and we all know where it goes from here. She meets the lovely Norman Bates. He seems nice. He seems like he's a little off, right? He's a little off, a little shy, just a little quirky, but he seems nice enough, and he lives on that big creepy house up on the hill away from the motel. What you don't know is that he is a major creeper. Basically has holes drilled out into her room so he can watch her as she does whatever it is that she's doing in her room. Undressing, kind of putzing around. He can watch her at any friggin' moment. Any moment. So, and you can tell she's starting to be a little put off by him, but it's fine. She's gonna just brush it off. It's okay. Well, it's okay until she decides to take a shower. How dare she take a shower? So she takes a shower, and she is met by this strange woman. And we don't see the woman's face or anything. We just see that it's got like that grandma bun going on in the back, and it's holding a knife, and we all know how that ends, right? Poor Janet Leigh doesn't survive. No, but the cops are onto her because they're already onto her because they're watching her buy a new car with the embezzled money and acting strange. So the cops were already following her, and then they end up catching Norman Bates in his crime. And now, not only that, is they do also discover his mother's corpse, in the basement. He is he has this psychological disorder where he thinks that he's his mom. I think that's what's going on. He's got some mommy issues. I think some of us know what that's all about. Has some mommy issues, but he's just not right in the head, and that's where it ends in the movie. I'll try to give a real quick sum up of that because my movie synopsis have been real detailed, and I'm trying to knock that off. They don't need to be that detailed. So, how did I like Psycho? I loved it. Okay, this is one of the very first films. This starts off the entire genre of horror that we see today, the whole suspenseful thing. First of all, okay, if anyone's seen Jaws, should know that it is filled with Hitchcock in there. Spielberg was a fan. Told you I was a dork. Anyways, so there's something real good about this movie. It's artfully made. It's giving us a whole new, different kind of fear. So one of my favorite quotes is actually from the late John Carpenter. Rest in peace, buddy. And it's his explanation about fear. So imagine yourself at a campfire with a bunch of people, and there's someone telling a story. Now, fear lies in two different places, externally or internally. And so up until now, from the 1910s to the late 50s, we see that fear is actually present in the external. It's present outside of the campfire circle, right? It's monsters, it's aliens, it's scientists, it's prehistoric creatures, it's everything. It's on the outside. Nothing's inside the circle. We're safe within the circle. We stay in the circle, we're safe, right? We're safe. But Alfred Hitchcock is the first person that was like, what if evil and fear was inside the circle? Why would we want it inside the circle? That's the most terrifying thing to think about, is that someone inside your little circle of friends and people that you know is truly evil and likes to butcher small animals. I'm just kidding. Hopefully none of your friends are like that, but that's the whole concept of Psycho, is all of a sudden realizing that normal people come off real normal and charming and a little shy, a little awkward, but they seem fine, but they're real evil inside. They're dealing with some real demons that they take out on people, and that's what we're seeing in Psycho, and that's why I love Psycho. First of all, I just love Hitchcock in general. I contribute his movie The Birds to my irrational fear of birds. I know it's irrational, it doesn't make it any better. But I just love this movie. I love everything it stands for. It is the grandfather of slasher films that we love when we see at the very end of the 70s and throughout the 80s and 90s. Let's be real, the 80s and 90s filled with slasher films. They had to come from somewhere. You want to know where they came from? Psycho. Thank you for listening. Be sure to read the rest of my blog. There's not a whole lot. I pretty much covered it in here, to be honest. But stay tuned for the next day, because the next day we are talking about The Mask of Red Death, featuring the one and only Vincent Price. Thank you.